Okay, just wait for a couple of people. And it is freezing here. So I'll put this over my legs. My feet are already asleep. Alright. Okay, rugged up like a... what is it? Snug as a bug in a rug or something. Okay, so here we are, we're on time. Sorry about that 5 minutes message earlier. Blonde moment was meant to be 45 minutes. So, but we're here now, so all good. All the birds have disappeared. So hopefully no screaming crows or waterfowls or guinea fowls or whatever they're called. There you go. There's one. So there's one thing about doing videos out in nature. You have nature participating. So I'm sorry for the lighting. The lights, it's early morning. 9 o'clock is not that early, but the sun's still coming up, so it's bright, very bright. At least it's not raining. So how is everyone? So we'll get right into it. Now today is going to be the same as Ascension 1 for those who participated. We do the first hour and then we have a 5-minute break, and then we do the second hour with your questions at the end. Each subject we go through, we'll pause at the end of the subject and I'll go through the comments, and if there's any queries or questions regarding that particular subject, then we will cover those questions. So we've got a lot to get through today. We've got 6 subjects to cover. What is a starseed? Multiple realities, the multiverse, timelines, oneness, and your spirit soul connection regarding the higher planes of creation, which is going to be quite advanced, that last one. Okay, so don't worry if you don't understand it. Just take as much of the information as you can. You are free to take notes, of course. Just please don't share this video, don't download it and share it to other people, because it's not fair on you guys that's paid. So yeah. Okay, so if you have any questions about the subject that I'm talking about at the time, put them in the comments. If you want to comment, you need to tap on the video. Okay, you have to tap on the video. Sometimes you can watch the video without being able to comment. You have to tap on the video if you want to actually participate and comment. Otherwise, you'll be commenting just on like the video is being shared, and I won't see it until we finish this whole session, and by then it's too late. Okay, so all the birds come back. Convenient. So we'll get going. Okay, so what is a starseed? Okay, now a starseed is something that many people like to identify with, and it is a label. Okay, it's pretty much just a label, and a label of the ego. Okay, and the ego, as we know, is just a separation of self. Okay, it's just identifying oneself. And everybody has ego. You cannot kill your ego. To kill your ego means you return to source. Because, stop turning pages. Which means you die, even though there's no death. Okay, so, but you return to spirit, you return to source, if you kill your ego. So basically, separation of self, okay, means you identify as an individual. Even though you know you're fully connected, you identify as an individual. So starseeds, when we use the term starseed, that is a separation of source. That is removing yourself from the collective. And we know that we are all completely connected at the whole time. So it's just another way of saying I'm a light worker, I'm a spiritualist, I'm a banker, I'm the devil, I'm a bird, I'm a tree. Okay, it's all just a label, and a label is not something that you want to identify with, simply because the more labels you put yourself under, the more you move yourself away from source energy, the more you move away from your alignment with who you truly are, and that's source energy, and source is everything. So when we talk about starseeds in particular, that particular label, what we're actually referring to is a spirit or a soul that has had many incarnations on another planet or within another race, or within another racial vibration, so within a certain vibrational field of a certain race. And this is where it gets complicated, because every single person who identifies as a starseed, a light worker, a spiritualist, has had lifetimes on other planets. This is not your first rodeo, so to speak. So when you say, I've had many people come to me and say, hey, what starseed am I? It's like, your source energy. Why do you want to bog you down and limit yourself under a label? Your source, you are everything, literally everything. And they say, oh, okay, but what race do I come from? It's like, you come from source. You are every race and then some. Okay, you are everything. All right. So try not to get stuck on the starseed, because starseed is just simply a label to describe that you've had physical incarnations on other planets or within other races. And we all have. Okay, we all have. There are very young souls who have not graduated Earth yet, and they are not starseeds because they have not had a physical incarnation on other planets, which is absolutely fine. But if the moment they have another incarnation on another planet, just say for example they went to Venus and had an incarnation as a Venusian, they then too are starseeds. Okay, so it's not this major title. You know, many people wear it as a badge of honor. I'm a starseed. Like, and? Okay, so, and your point? You know, so really, really, really try hard to not get hooked on labels. You are everything, and you always will be. You are infinite. You're dirt. You're the tree. You're human. You're dog. You're cat. You're alien. You're stardust. You're the moon. You're the sun. You're everything. You are creation itself. Okay, so when people say I'm a starseed, they really haven't grasped the concept of oneness, and we'll get into oneness later. They really haven't got down to creation itself. They're still learning, okay? And that is not a derogatory thing to them. On the contrary, we use labels to describe what evolutionary stage we are at during our ascension phase. And as we know, ascension never stops. Even, you know, those in 12D, 6th density and 12th dimensional consciousness, they are still ascending, okay? It doesn't stop. So labels are just an element of describing where you are in your evolutionary journey, okay, in this lifetime. Okay, in this lifetime we're describing it. Now, a starseed can also be a raccoon that's lived alive on another planet, okay, that's had an incarnation, a physical incarnation on another planet, and they too are a starseed because their soul spirit has had a physical life somewhere else. Okay, so it is a very, very simple term, just to describe that I have lived on another planet or within another race. Simple as that. It's not complicated. Remember, on your ascension journey and your spiritual journey, if it's complicated, it's coming from ego. Life is so simple. It really is simple. You are creation. You are everything. There is no reason to put a label on yourself. Even putting human in front, you know, on yourself, saying I am human, that's also separating yourself from the collective. Okay, so it's just terms we use because we are verbal beings. Okay, humans are verbal, so we tend to label things. As you go through the higher dimensions, you start to get rid of those labels, and you don't need the verbal labels and terms, because everything is telepathy, it's feeling, it's emotion, it's thoughts, you know, so we don't need those labels the higher up we go. And this is the direction that humanity is moving. This is what we say when we're ascending into 5D. It's removing the lower dimensional beliefs and labels and terms and things like that. So just remember, if you want to call yourself a starseed, that's absolutely fine. Go for it. You're just identifying to others within the spiritual community or within yourself that, and acknowledging that you have had a life on another planet. We have a lot of beings here who have had lives on other planets because they have the experience to assist in the awakening, which is needed at the moment. Not so much the awakening. I prefer to call it dismantling the matrix. I think that's a better term than the awakening, because to become awake refers to and means that you've been asleep, and we know that no one's ever asleep. Everybody knows exactly what they need to know when they need to know it, and that's their life's plan. That's their choice. Okay, so dismantling the matrix is a better term than the awakening, I think, and I think I'm going to start using that instead of the Great Awakening. Dismantling the matrix. Okay, so all right, I'll just go back through the comments and we'll have a look, make sure no ants are about to crawl on me. So that's star seeds. Okay. Of course I'm going to send it back to the beginning again, aren't I? Alright. Facebook better not be temperamental today. Okay, thank you for doing. No problem. I thoroughly enjoy these workshops. And I hope you guys do too. Okay, just going through. Well, I don't see the comments now. You should be able to see the comments. If you tap on if you actually tap on the video, you will see the comments and you'll be able to participate, which you have because I can see your comment. Okay. How do you know? Are you referring to how do you know if you're a starseed? If that's what you're referring to, then it's a feeling. It's a feeling, and this is where you must be honest with yourself. Okay, I always say if you're talking to me and participating in my workshops, then you're pretty much more along your ascension journey. Okay, because those who are not here for the ascension are usually not starseeds. They're usually not had lives on other planets and not interested in spirituality, not interested in bettering themselves and working with the unknown, or the unseen rather, not the unknown, with working with the unseen. So so it's a feeling, okay, and it's a journey to learn how to tap in and how to tune in to see who you are, what other planets you've had physical lives on, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. That's absolutely fine. Just don't get hooked on the idea. Okay, a lot of people romanticize about having lives on other planets, and it's not something to be proud of. It's just what is. Okay, it's just literally what is. It's neither positive or negative. It's just like you having a life here. Okay, so try not to get hooked on it, but meditation helps. If you go through the internet and have a look at the different traits of the different races, and one of them jumps out at you and you really resonate with that, chances are you've had a lifetime with that race. Okay, that's pretty, if it resonates, then that's what you need at the moment. Now, it doesn't mean that tomorrow you're not going to have a different feeling with a different race, because you've had many lives with many different races. So today you might bring through Pleiadian energy, tomorrow you might bring through Venusian energy, and in a month's time, you might need the reptilian energy or the Draco energy. It just depends on what you need at the moment, which energy you bring through from your other lifetimes. Okay. Thoughts on when people say I'm love and light. Oh, I hate love and light. I don't hate it, I just don't like it. Love and light means, technically the term love and light means love is procreation. We know what that means. And light is information. When people use the term love and light, what they're actually saying, or what they want to say, rather than what they're actually saying, what they want to say is, I send you love and light, as in vibration. Okay? When I say love and light, I'm wishing you, pardon me, I'm wishing you sex and information, because that's what it actually means. Okay, so you won't hear me say love and light very often unless I'm lightening things up and making a bit of a joke. Okay, every time I see someone say, oh, love and light, dear, love and light, it's like, oh, I wish you sex and information. And I start chuckling. Okay, they just don't understand. Okay, people that use love and light, they have two meaning. They make love and light something different to its actual genuine meaning. And they don't mean it as in sex and information. They mean it as in, I send you love from my heart, and light as in a vibration, so raise your vibration. Okay, that's what they mean by that. I have a different meaning. I like to stick with the true meaning because it brings a smile to my face, and when I tell people that, they start laughing, and then you find less and less people using it, which is kind of amusing. It's quite funny to me. I love triggering people, as you guys know. Okay, really enjoy these workshops. Oh, fantastic. I love doing them. I have to be honest, I haven't been feeling great the last couple of days, not because I've had a really bad cold, but just neutral. Couldn't give a shit about the world, whether it was positive, negative, don't care if it blows up, just whatever. This morning I had a good meditation with a couple of ETs, and they kind of kicked my ass back into gear, lovingly this time, not the usual slap over the face, punch in the nose and kick up the backside. So one of them actually gave me a cuddle, and I was shocked. I nearly fell off my chair. So yeah, okay. When I am sending you heart emotions, I don't mean sex, just saying haha. Yes, so now you guys have a different interpretation of the meaning of love and light. And I hope you guys enjoy it, because it's funny, especially when you're scrolling through Facebook and you see comment after comment, love and light, love and light. It's like, oh my god, it's a sex party. It's like, okay, is there going to be a library there as well? It's like, all right, so okay, I think we've lightened things up a bit for the morning, afternoon, nighttime, midnight, wherever you are. Okay, so that's starseeds. Okay, just a label to separate yourself from the collective. That's it. Just to describe you've had a lifetime elsewhere other than Earth. Okay, that's pretty simple. People make it so complicated, and it is so simple. It's like 1 + 1. Okay, multiple realities. This is where, actually, I'm not going to do multiple realities just yet. I'm going to change the order, because I think I need to do oneness first, so then you can understand the rest, the multiple realities, the multiverse timelines, and the spirit-soul connection. Okay, so we'll do oneness next. I should have put that in order. Pardon me, just have a drink before I start choking. Okay, so oneness. Alright, so we have, I'm going to draw a little diagram actually. And those of you who have heard me talk of this before will understand this completely. I'm going to use an octopus. If I can tear this bit of paper out of my book. Okay, I'm going to use an octopus. You have, you take the head of an octopus, okay, and then you have 8 legs, I think. We'll just use 8. It's the first number that popped into my head. Can't believe I don't know that. Anyway, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is the head. I'll show you guys in a second. Okay, now, what we have here, alright, so you got the head of the octopus, okay, and then you got 8 legs, tentacles, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to call them legs because it's easier for me to pronounce, okay. Now, each one of these legs is one of your incarnations, okay. You are always, and I'll put little circles at the bottom of each leg, okay, so each leg is one of your incarnations, and this is you. The circle is you and your physical your mind, okay. The head of the octopus is source, okay. That is, well, actually no, let's go even deeper. We want to go deeper. Okay, so then we have, give me 1 second. All right, I'll do this really quick. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I should have done this before, I was thinking of it. And then we go up here, and then we have another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we go up here, another one. Okay, alright, so here we have 3 octopuses, all completely connected with one another. Okay, now this top one here is source energy. That's creation itself. That is the entire multiverse. Every single thing in creation that has been created, that is where thoughts, that's absolutely everything, completely, you name it, that is where it comes from. Then we have down here the next octopus, and this is where your higher soul, so you have the main octopus, which is creation itself, and then that splits off into different pieces, kind of, always remaining fully connected, but it kind of splits off to become slightly more individual. Okay, so then it splits off into many different ways, and we're just following one path down here to the next octopus. And this is like your oversoul. So this is completely always connected to you. So this is you here. I'm not explaining this very well. Connected to your higher self. This is your higher self here. Okay. Now this higher self is your spirit. It is your soul. It's who you are. All the different incarnations happening at once. Okay. Which is connected to your oversoul, which is a much larger, I'm just going to say packet of souls. Okay. So it is just stemming straight down from creation itself. So it is between you and creation. Still connected, but it's between your higher self and creation itself. Okay. Now, here is always connected to source. So if this is me, this is you, this is someone else, someone else, someone else, someone else, someone else, someone else, we all share the same higher self, the same spirit, because we are literally the same person, just having different physical experiences all at the same time. So while you're sitting here listening to me ramble on, you're actually having other lifetimes, maybe on Earth, maybe on other planets, maybe elsewhere. It doesn't matter. You may be a dog. You may be one of the birds that's making noises, annoying, which is great. It's music to our ears. You're still having all these at the same time. Now, the number of incarnations you have is not limited, is never ever limited. You can have 5 incarnations before you choose to not go back to a physical incarnation, or you can have 100,000, 1,000,000, 10 million incarnations. There is no limit to how many incarnations you can have. Okay, I've had approximately 75,000 physical incarnations on this planet and many, many, many others. So there is no limit. Many people say you can only have 7 or 9 or 11 or 12 or such, and then that's it, you're finished. BS, okay? Absolute BS. It is not limited, okay? So what we're trying to do in our in the third 3D, moving through 4D, because 4D is a transition dimension between 3 and 5. So what we're trying to do between 3D, moving through 4D into 5D, is make sure you can see it, okay, get our physical minds here, which is these small circles, connected to our higher self. Okay, so we're trying to connect our physical mind back to our higher self. Then when we get there, this is where it gets more interesting. When we get to our higher self and we become in alignment with our higher self, so we're listening, we're following our intuition, we're coming from love, we're not fearing, we're trusting the process, all of that kind of thing, then it gets really interesting. We go back to our oversoul. Okay, now if you follow Bashar, there is a video he's done, the 9 levels of consciousness, I think it's called. He explains it really well. I should have watched it before today, which I couldn't be bothered. So anyway, it's really good. So when you're finally here in the 5D, you move up to here. Now this is where you go from 6D up to 12D. Okay, now there's many different variations within the 5, 6, 7D, same as 3D. The idea is to connect to your higher self and become in alignment with your higher self, And when you're stable within the 5D vibration, then you make the connection up to your oversoul. Okay, now that's when things really, really start to get interesting. That's when you start becoming, you start instant manifestation. That's when you can start to manifest things out of practically thin air, change cellular structure, do all sorts of miraculous things which we would call magic, which isn't. It's just a manipulation of energy. So when you're here, you would be in probably, I would say, 8 or 9D dimensional consciousness. When you're here, you can then go back to here. You can reconnect back to here. So you're reconnecting to source energy itself, and that is 12D. Okay, so you got 5D, 8 or 9D, 12D. Okay, so we're down here, we're making that connection to our higher self, to 5D. When you're here, you make the connection to your oversoul, which is 8, 7, 8, 9D, whatever. There's many variations within it. And then when you're here, you make the reconnection back to source completely. Now you can do this in a physical body. It's all about consciousness. Okay, it's not about the physical. It is conscious. Okay, so let's make sure that we understand all of that is consciousness related. When we're talking dimensions, many people think that we are returning or going somewhere. Okay, when you're in 5D, you will be somewhere else. Absolutely not. Okay, you can be in 12D in a human body here on this planet going through all this crap. It is your level of consciousness that determines what vibration you're in. Okay, and that's where your reality changes. The higher the consciousness, the more peaceful reality, because you understand things and see things from a different point of view. So, those 3 octopuses, that sounds really bad, but after the previous conversation, but let's move on. Those 3 creatures with all the tentacles and legs is all connected. So I'm connected to you, you're connected to the next one, connected to next, completely connected. There is no separation, because there is only one consciousness, one, and that comes from creation. What we have as we go down through the levels, down through the octopuses, down into the lower dimensional realms, that's when you have the illusion of being not connected, or of not being connected. Okay, but you are always 100% connected. And this is what comes into real importance when we talk about passing and dying and death and all that sort of thing. No one dies, nothing dies, because everything is always 100% connected. So you're sitting here listening to me ramble, thinking I'm having real trouble connecting to my higher self, when in fact you are your higher self. You and your higher self is your oversoul. Your oversoul is source energy. It is creation itself, God, as many people like to call it. So you are 100% connected at every single moment. Every moment. There's not one split second that you are not connected. And when we say reflection, when somebody triggers us or says something mean or murders us or something like that, you're actually doing, when they say you're doing it to yourself, you actually are. Because you are always connected to every single thing on this planet. So when we have massive fires and floods and all kind of natural disasters, you're experiencing that. You're just that is happening to you. You're just experiencing it from a different perspective. So you are that tree that has just been burnt. But you're not feeling it, because that's not the experience that your chosen consciousness level and perception has chosen to experience. You are still experiencing it, but you're not having the experience consciously. Okay? Because even though it is a part of you, it's not part of your chosen experience. Okay? So it gets quite complicated. But if you use the 3 different octopus diagram, I'm not going to add the extra S there because my mind goes immediately to the gutter. If you use the 3 different octopus scale, you will see that you are connected to your higher self is connected to your oversoul. Your oversoul is connected to source energy with many different layers and levels within that connection. So the idea is to allow yourself to accept that you are always connected. You are always doing what you are meant to be doing when you're meant to be doing it. And you are always 100% communicating with your higher self. Why? Because you are your higher self. You cannot be separated at all. Even when you lose this physical body, you are still that high, you are still that source energy. Okay, so the ant that you accidentally walk on is part of you, because that ant is creation itself, which stems from creation, which stems from source, which you do also. So that ant is part of you. Okay, I hope that makes sense. The more you start to learn about consciousness and life, the more it will make sense to you. The more you allow yourself to open up, the more understanding you will have. And of course, the higher you vibrate, again, my brain went to somewhere it should not go at this time. The higher your vibration, the more access to this knowledge you will have. Okay, so when you're in a low vibration or not feeling well or anything like that, you actually lose the connection. You don't lose the connection. The connection seems lost because you're not in a vibrational state in order to receive that information. So remember the saying I always use: you cannot experience what you are not the vibration of. You can't experience higher knowledge if you're in a lower vibration. Okay, you just can't. You don't have access to it. And this is why with the awakening, many people say, it doesn't matter what I tell them, they can't hear me, they don't understand, they don't see it. And that's why, because they're not in the vibrational frequency to see it. So you're basically just ramming your head against a brick wall for people who literally can't see it. They literally can't. Okay? So this is where understanding of higher consciousness comes in. Okay, they literally cannot see what we are talking about, and the truth and everything like that. Okay, so there's no point trying to wake anybody up, because you literally can't if they are not in that vibrational frequency. Okay. All right, so we've done oneness. Now I'll go back through the comments. Okay. Let me see. Love your why does it do that? Love your transparency. Laugh out loud, your transparency is divine. I like to make these workshops and classes a bit more entertaining. Otherwise, it's just words. It's just words. When you lighten things up, it resonates more, and people take more notice. Love and peace. That's better. But you're still sending them, that 3-letter word, which I won't repeat again. Peaceful 3-letter word. Yep. It looks like it's wearing shoes. It basically is. The octopus is basically wearing shoes. That's exactly right. And it's the shoes of physical experience. So yes, exactly. Each shoe experiences a different perception of reality and a different experience, but still going in the same direction, still connected. So yes, absolutely. Are we always having 8 different incarnations at one time? You can have 5 million incarnations at one time, because remember, time doesn't exist. Everything is already happening now, and now, and now, and now, and now. There is no future, there is no past, there is only now. And I didn't understand this for a very long time. How can that be? How can the dinosaurs have lived 150 million years ago, or whatever it was, and you say they're still alive now? Well, that's because we're in a different vibrational frequency. Therefore, we perceive it as past, present, and future, when it's all just now. Okay? So it's just a different vibrational frequency that we have chosen to incarnate at this particular time. You probably have had incarnations as a dinosaur and as walking, roaming the earth right now as we speak. But we can't see them or experience them now. We see them as past because of the different vibrational frequency. That's all it is. Okay, it's all about vibration. Everything is vibration. Okay, so you can have 1,000 incarnations, you can have 3 incarnations, but every incarnation you have throughout your soul's existence is happening literally right now. Okay, you just answered the question. Beautiful. Can you please repeat the video about the 9 levels of consciousness? It is Bashar. I will put it in the comments after this video. Okay. I think it's the 9 levels of consciousness, I'm sure it's called. If I don't put it in the comments, it means I'm searching for it, and that might have to wait after the workshop's complete and recharge my phone. Okay, so yeah, the 9 levels of consciousness, I'm sure it's called. He talks about the oversoul, the different levels, all that sort of thing. If you want to follow someone, follow Bashar and Abraham. Brilliant. Cryon, I don't listen too much. I resonate with a lot of what he says. I just don't like the guy's voice who channels him. For some reason, it ticks me off. That frequency, it does my head in. Okay, let me go. Here we go to higher dimensions. Have we gone to higher dimensions when we were in other incarnations, or is this the first time? Both. This could be the highest dimension you've ever experienced as a soul, or it can be the lowest dimension you've ever experienced as a soul. Every spirit soul is completely different. Okay. You can go back and forth. People say you can only go up. That is BS. You go back and forth. Many of us starseeds have come down to help this planet dissolve the matrix. And we do this to a lot of planets. This is not our first rodeo. Okay, this is something that we specialize in freeing planets from tyranny, control, and corruption. And for some of the higher dimensional souls, it's actually their job to incarnate to, for example, Jesus, to incarnate to raise the vibration and give knowledge and assist through waking people up and helping people understand what's going on. So awesome, makes me happy to hear all this, explains a lot. Good. I have drowned a lot of ants lately. Me too. Don't worry, it's their soul contract to be killed and murdered by you and me. Okay, wonderful to know we never lose that connection, correct? I was just thinking about ants, bugs the last several years. I don't like the killing bugs because my mind pictures the creature magnified. Then I start thinking of little bug complex living being. They are living beings, absolutely. But remember, if you accidentally tread on one or you purposely spray it and kill it, it is that soul's incarnation, that soul's purpose, that contract to pass in that way. Nothing happens by accident, okay? You're helping that soul to live out its soul contract. Doesn't mean you go around killing everyone. Will certain things allow you to experience a higher vibration? Water? Yeah, you can get into higher vibrations many different ways. Many different ways. For me, it's spending time with my horses. It's doing nothing else, just standing there, touching my horse, giving it a pat on the face or giving it a brush or combing its tail or something. I walk away from my horses as high as a kite. Like, a bug on meth or a cat that's just had a huge amount of catnip. That's what gets me in the zone. Everybody's different. Some people paint, some people draw, some people, have their own little gardening, meditation, listening to music, walking in the forest, bush, as we say in Australia, all sorts of different things. Okay, so it's very interesting. You just got to find what works for you. Okay, just find. Some people get their kicks out of washing the dishes or hanging the washing on the line. Everyone's different. For me, it's just simply spending time with horses. When I walk away, nothing can dampen my day. Even if a nuclear weapon went off beside me, I'm still happy as Larry. Okay. So that is why I'm always talking to myself. You're never talking to, well, yes, you're always talking to yourself. Even when you're talking to, for example, Archangel Michael, you're talking to yourself because of oneness. Okay, you are an expression of him. He is an expression of you. And they will always, the higher dimensional beings will always meet you according to your evolutionary level, or rather your development level. They will never give you more information than you're ready for, which is frustrating at times. But they will always come to your level, okay? And you do the same when you talk to people less developed than you, okay? So it's all about meeting you on your vibrational frequency. We do have to raise our vibrational frequency to meet them, and when you do get that contact, then you know you're on the right track, okay? But again, you find what works best for you in raising your vibration. That is great. I will never forget your 3-way octopus diagram. Beautiful. There is only one, all else is an illusion. Absolutely. Octopi, is that what they call them? I always say octopuses, but that's not right, is it? Any octopi, that makes more sense. That sounds more professional and right. Will we be aware of other incarnations we are experiencing, or only remember the one that we are currently experiencing? When you choose not to incarnate into a lower dimensional environment, for example, Earth, 3D, you will remember bits and pieces of other incarnations. I remember a lot of my incarnations on Venus, and sometimes the feelings, the emotions, the experiences bleed over into my memory here, which can be a little confusing at times. But also very helpful in my own evolution, journey, experience, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes your dreams, when you dream, you're not always just having a regular dream. Sometimes you're actually tuning in to what one of your other lifetimes or other incarnations is doing. So you're not always just dreaming. So yeah, you can. Where did this wind come from? I'm losing my jacket. Okay, come here, jacket. Let me sit on you. All right. So yes, you can absolutely become aware, and the higher the vibration, the higher your consciousness and vibration, the more awareness you have of those other incarnations. Is soul review in the now too? Yes, always. Everything is always in the now. Always. Nothing waits until you pass. There is no keeper at the gates of heaven or hell that tells you what you do. There is only your experience and what you take away from it. Did you learn your lessons? Did you participate? Did you do what you set out to do? All that sort of thing. So it's all in the now. So when we get to the oversoul dimension, will we have the knowledge history of all other lives? I know. Yes. That is where you begin to be able to interact, not just be aware of, but interact with your other lifetimes. And that's where your spirit comes and will have a chat with you, and that's where you will start to have more in-depth two-way conversations with your higher self, and be able to interact with other incarnations. Okay, you'll be able to interact and influence your other lifetimes that's happening at the same time. So people say guardian angel. Okay, most of the time it's your oversoul that is your guardian angel, looking out for you, guiding and helping you become more of who you are. So all the tentacles are all our incarnations going on at the same time, going on right now? Absolutely yes, 100%. When we astral travel, are we incarnating to another soul? Potentially. But what you're really doing in astral travel is you are, as a spiritual being, you are quietening the physical mind and allowing your consciousness of the physical mind to travel to other dimensions and to be free of the physical body. So it is your conscious mind in combination with your spirit that is traveling to experience other things. And this is why you can remember what you've experienced after astral traveling, because it is the consciousness of your physical mind in combination with your spirit that does the traveling. Okay, and as we know, the conscious mind is your thoughts, what you're thinking right now is you trying to understand what I've just said. I am too. So you can do that while you're awake. Many people do it unconsciously while they're asleep. They don't mean to do it, but that's their spirit taking them on taking them on journeys and saying, hey, this is what's here, this is what's there, let's go for it here, and let's enjoy this. So but yeah, you can absolutely do it while you're fully awake. Meditation is the best way to do it. Many people say deep breathing can put you in that state. For me, I just take one deep breath, set my intention, and away I go. It's practice makes perfect, like everything, and your consciousness and vibration is like your muscles. Okay, if you don't use it, you lose it. You have to keep working at it to keep them in optimal health. Okay, so the more you practice, the more you use it, the stronger your abilities and your consciousness will get. So it's exactly the same as your muscles going to a gym. Okay, exactly the same. So gut feelings are the connections. Yes, 100%. That is your spirit soul giving you direction and guidance. The simple things in life that make you happy raise your vibration. Absolutely. So enjoy your sense of humor. Good. Wow, good. When people talk down to you, is it them trying to lower your vibration? I don't feel that is. I feel that when people talk down to you, it is them trying to understand themselves. And they are in a conscious state where they believe that they have to talk to people in a certain way for them to understand, when in fact it's not that way at all. So it's not them trying to lower your vibration, it's them trying to understand a way that they can speak to you that will make you understand. It's a reflection of their own misunderstanding or lack of understanding of how consciousness and information works. Okay? Some people will talk down to you directly to lower your consciousness, lower your vibration, and that's fine too. That's a reflection of them. You don't have to take it on. Okay? Everything that someone says or does to you cannot affect you unless you give it permission to. You have to allow something to affect you before it does. Otherwise, it's like duck off a water's back. A duck off a water's back. Makes sense. Water off a duck's back. Okay? It cannot affect you if you don't allow it. Okay? Alright, got 10 minutes. That was a quick hour, 50 minutes, wasn't it? Alright, so we will do... I think we've already done the spirit-soul connection regarding the higher planes of creation. We've already done that in the octopi. Octopi, not octopuses. I think we've already covered that. We killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Sorry, birds. Yeah, okay, so... soul-spirit connection regarding the higher planes of creation. Well, we've done that. Alright, so we've done 3 of the 6 subjects, or topics, not subjects, we're not in school. Kind of school, Earth school. Alright. God, that wind's getting cold. Okay, wow, I'm in the high functional ASD and always talk to myself, and when little, barely talked, but I was talking to myself and feeling was telepathic. That's a new word. Telepathic. Telepathically expressing myself. No, go away. I was talking to my higher self. Yes. Or spirit. Okay. Now, one thing with spirit guides. Okay. Spirit guides are amazing. They're you. They're other octopi communicating with you, because remember, we're all one. So we're all communicating. Your spirit guides can be anything from your pet to a loved one to the crow standing over there staring at me. Okay? Spirit guides are everything and anything. They can be the tree. Spirit guide can be the wind. Okay? Absolutely anything. If you resonate with it, it's guiding you. Okay? If you resonate with anything, that is a guidance. If you don't resonate with something and you have an aversion to something, that is also guidance. Okay? There's also guidance if you don't like something. It's telling you that it doesn't sit right with your soul and you do not need it at this time. Doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means that it's not for you at this time. Okay? So should I tell someone I appreciate them instead of I love them? If you want to. Depends what mood you're in. If you're in a joyful, playful mood, then you can say, hey, love and light. I send you so much love and light. Have fun with that. Or I appreciate you. I'm glad you're in my life. All those sorts of different things. But if you want to have some fun when you know the meaning and they think it means something else, you can have some fun and say, I wish you so much love and light today. And they'll go, oh, thank you so much. Meanwhile, you're going, okay. So, yeah. All right. I think we'll take a 5-minute break now. And then we'll go on to the other 3. No, we won't. I got a few questions here that you guys have sent me. So let's do 1 or 2 of them, and then we'll have a 5-minute break, I think. Just so we can go to the toilet, get a drink, tend to pets and kids, whatever. All right, this one's quick and easy. How do we continually raise our That sounded really bad, didn't it, after the conversation we've just been having? How quick and easy. How do we continually raise our vibrations? How to stay in the high vibrational state at all time? Okay, you are in a 3rd dimensional environment. It is not the idea to stay in a high vibrational state at all times. That's not your purpose here. That's not what this environment is all about. Something's touching my leg. The idea is to learn how to implement the lower vibrations into the higher vibrational state. Okay, so by that I mean you're in a really, really tough school here in Earth. It's a dimension. Let's just say in Earth. So you can't actually stay within unless you're going to be a Buddhist monk or separate yourself from the humanity life completely. You actually can't stay in the higher frequencies at all times, because you're not meant to. You're meant to experience the highs, the lows, everything in between, excitement, sadness, depression. You're meant to experience it all. That's why you're here. Okay, so the idea is to put that there, move that over there. The idea is to learn how to raise your vibration, which is really easy. Okay, raising your vibration is mainly getting rid of what doesn't serve you in your highest good. So getting rid of beliefs, getting rid of ideas about yourself, things like that. So it's really easy to raise your vibration. Just do what you love and enjoy. Be in the moment. Have a good time, happy, laughing, joking, partying with friends, whatever floats your boat. Okay. But you also have to experience the low. So you'll have to experience loss. You'll have to experience breakups within relationships. You'll have to experience loss of pets, loss of family, friends fighting and leaving you. You have to experience, your own triggers and your own shadow side, and you have to work on all of that. So your job here in this lifetime is not to stay in a higher vibrational state at all times. Your job here is to understand how the vibrations work and what you can do to use those different vibrations and bring them in to your physical experience when you need them. Okay, so you want to spend more time, neutral, low vibration here, high vibration here. So what you actually want to do is you want to start neutral and you want to raise your vibration here. Now, when you have a loss or something else, your vibration will go down here. Then you'll raise your vibration again, your vibration will be up here. Something else happens, your vibration comes down here. You raise it again, vibration up here. Something happens down here, vibration up here. And the more time you spend up here, the less time you will spend down here, and you won't go as low as you previously did. So the idea is to spend more time up here continuously, like at a longer period of time, less time down here, but you still need to come back down here so that you can test yourself, so that you know if you're on the right track. And when you're down here at a lower vibration, you will actually spend less time here, meaning instead of being in the low vibration, I know it's communicating with us, it's sending us little pine needles and all sorts of different things. So when you're down here in the lower vibration, what you're going to be doing, instead of spending a week down here, you'll spend 2 days, and then you'll be up here again. You'll be up here for 5 days, and you'll come down here for 1 day. You'll be up here for 10 days, and then you'll come down here for half a day. Then you'll be up here for 2 weeks, and you get the point. So you spend more time up here more often, less time down here less often. Okay, but you cannot stay up here 100% of the time. That's not what you're here for. You're here to learn and experience all the different vibrations all the time. So you'll be fluctuating constantly. But again, the idea is to spend more time up here and less time down here. Okay. Let me see. Meditating can be a challenge at times, often falling asleep. Can you recommend any meditations to use as a beginner? I don't listen to any meditations. Okay, I do my own. I just put on a piece of music and I tune in literally within 2 to 3 seconds. Sometimes it's instant. As soon as I close my eyes, I'm into it. And I just go with whatever comes. Normally I'm having a lesson or something with a higher dimensional being, or I'm going horse riding, or I'm swimming in a pond. It's whatever. There's many different things. For a beginner, I would not lay down. Okay, do not lay down when you meditate, when you're learning, because laying down, actually, your brain has been trained. When you lay down, you go to sleep. Okay, always sit up when you're learning. You don't want to train your brain to stay awake for meditation when you lay down, because when you go to bed, your brain's been trained to stay awake for meditation, okay, instead of sleep. So that's when you can have some sleep problems. So always try and sit up when you meditate. For a beginner, I would recommend meditating in nature and having no music, no voice, just listen to the birds and the wind and the trees. If it's really difficult that you can't get to nature, put on a bit of music with no words and imagine yourself in nature. Okay, if you picture yourself in nature, your brain will be tricked into believing that you're actually in nature, and you will get the same result as actually being there. Okay, it's all about tricking the mind into believing it is experiencing something other than it's actually not. Okay, because the brain is a program and you can program it. It just takes time and practice. Okay, if it helps to use a voiceover on the meditation music, that's fine, but I find them extremely dull and boring as hell. I cannot follow anyone that's talking in meditation, but that's me. If that works for you, then go for it. I believe Bashar has got some meditations on his YouTube channel. I haven't listened to them, but it might be something to check out. Again, I'll put a post in this group about Bashar and the 9 levels of consciousness and that. Okay. Let me see. I have let myself been led into the RV groups, into your group, etc. I am amazed how I ended up in all these things and following my gut. Beautiful. That's exactly the way it's done. The tree behind Sky is communicating with us. Yes. How do you handle the negativity family and friends throw your way? Those who are stuck in the matrix is causing such a rift for so many people, myself included. That's an interesting one. I never learnt how to do that. My family kicked us out of their house, which is why we live in a motel. But basically, it's their experience. You have to understand that that's the experience they've chosen. And if they want to be negative, that's the experience they've chosen. You on the consciousness journey, it's your responsibility and your job to understand that they are simply not ready yet, and it's not part of their experience to know the truth. And this is why the online communities have been fantastic and pretty much lifesavers for people. Okay, they pretty much have been lifesavers for people to talk and communicate, because their families don't believe. And what I found is it's very few members of a family, maybe even just one member of each family, that has woken up, I hate using that term, but has literally woken up to what's going on. So it really is difficult. It's just something you have to try and find a way to implement higher consciousness and understanding and compassion into their negativity. Okay, I'll do one more question, then we've got to have a 5-minute break. Okay, yeah, this park is absolutely gorgeous. It really is stunning. Did you try Joe Dispenza's meditations? No, I actually can't follow anyone that does voiceovers on music. I go off into my own. I can't do it. Okay. Alright, we'll go into a 5-minute break. So, now when we come back into the video, so I'll turn this one off, I'll stop this one, and I'll start a new one. This is just so I can download it and upload it to YouTube without too much drama. And so we can have a drink and toilet and everything. So when I start the next part 2, make sure the title of the video is part 2. Okay, last time a few people jumped onto part 1 before they realized we'd already covered it. Okay, so make sure it says part 2. Alright, I'll see everybody back here in 5 minutes.